Thank you for tuning in to Mothers Who Care, a family-focused organization group that came out of Increase the Harvest, which is a 501c3. I'm your host today, Zerlina Smith, and today we'll be talking about street justice, and we have two phenomenal women that will be the guests. Our first guest is Sharita Galloway. She's a mother. Let's just start off and let her tell her story, and then I'll get into asking questions, because I believe that this show is about family, and it should start off with who you are and why you do what you do and what do you expect to come from it, and then I'll ask you questions. So, okay. Ms. Galloway.
Okay, hello. My name is Sharita Galloway, and I am a mother of 4. Currently, I do what I do because I recently lost a son to gun violence. August 30th, 2016, I lost my 16-year-old son a day before his 17th birthday. So I think it's very important.
Where did you lose your son at?
I lost my son in the Austin community.
Okay. And what vicinity?
The 5500 block of West Quincy.
Okay. Keep going. No, I was just asking because I do know, okay. and I don't want people to think that I'm cutting her off. I do know we just did a visual Wednesday before last, yes. And you do have a reward for information in regards to what's going on with your son's case.
Yes, we do. We do have a reward. It's actually $2,500 now. And we have the reward because no one has spoken up in my son's killing. Like, there's no justice.
Okay. And today is more so about street justice. And why we chose to say street justice is because this is Mothers Who Care, family focused. We want everybody to know that we're not just here because we feel as though we can change the world or we want to change the world. We want to just start with working within our communities. Absolutely. So she's been advocating, and I've been watching this young lady and been side by side with her for a couple of weeks now and has grown very fond of Mrs. Galloway. And we just want to know what keep you going. Let the viewers know what keep you going and what is it you expect from not having that information that you deserve to give you some ease, or are you at ease?
What keeps me going is on Wednesdays getting people to be able to come out their houses and for them to feel safe while we're doing so. I found that a lot of the residents...
We're posting the next upcoming event, which is on Wednesday, which is sponsored by state representatives. And thanks to Felony Franks, who generously every week donates the food for us to go out and pass out resources to the community. And we really would appreciate you coming out and being a part of it. And if you have resources, please bring those out, because we are doing what again? Like she say, enjoying.
We're enjoying the community, and actually the community is enjoying us. I mean, it's a good feeling to hear people say that they can come outside because we're there.
That's right.
You know, to be able to talk to a lot of the residents and find out what they truly need.
And how many weeks have we been doing it?
38 weeks. I have to think about it. 38 weeks we've been doing it.
And do you want to continue to do it? We're going to go through the winter, right?
I already been thinking we're going to give out hot chocolate.
Okay, look, we gotta get us hot chocolate. So we're gonna give out hot chocolate as it gets colder. So when you think about faces of victims, we said when we did the March for Peace that you just don't take someone's life; it affects the whole family. Yes. You take what? How did this really affects you? Because when it comes to that reward, when it comes to this so-called code of silence that's going on around the city of Chicago, what justice do you feel as though you need to be an advocate, or to continue to be an advocate, to make sure that nothing else happens like this to someone else's family?
Me personally, I believe that if we all speak up, when you see something go on, say something. We will never get our communities back. I would like for everybody to be able to come outside Sunday through Saturday versus just on Wednesdays. Okay. To come out and to be able to enjoy their neighborhood. People should be able to enjoy their neighborhood every day, no matter what day it is. We should be able to go outside and feel safe. And until we start speaking up as a community and say something when you see it, we're going to continue to only be able to come out when people like Mothers Who Care come around.
Okay, that kind of touched me. Like I say, it's a lot of organizations throughout the city of Chicago.
Yes, it is.
And we collaborate with multiple organizations. And right now, I want to just show you a little clip of the people who supported us for this March for Peace. And this March for Peace was very important because it highlighted the 30% of unsolved homicides where? On the west,
in the Austin area.
In the Austin community.
Which is unacceptable.
So everyone, and we don't even have pretty much a third of the families, which I didn't know if they wanted their information publicly. But when you think of these families, we also want to think of the organizations that had so much love in their heart to come out and support the mothers who, and the fathers and the grandmothers and the children who have lost their family member or their loved one to the street violence in the city of Chicago. So once again, what do you plan to do next? Let everyone know what you plan to do next and what it is that we can do to continue to help you and bring about justice for Elijah Sims.
Yes. I just want to keep bringing awareness. The awareness of put the guns down. If you see something, say something. When you kill someone, it affects the whole family. My whole family has been affected all the way down to my cat. You wouldn't think that your household pets are affected, but they're affected also because she goes to his room and scratches and
other siblings.
My 19-year-old, he's really confused. He's confused. He's very confused. My 21-year-old, he don't quite understand as well. He's confused as well. They are both in counseling, but I also have a 19-month-old. So he knew his older brother. But we're going to go back through the grieving process all over again when he gets a little bit older to really understand what happened to his older brother and start back asking questions.
Is there any information you want to put out there for people to contact you, or should I just say, well, contact us because we're always together? When I tell you that there's an advocate out here doing work, Mothers Who Care has been organizing grassroots for the past 4 years as Increase the Harvest. And if you want any information or you want to join us on a Wednesday or just be a part of a group that's not just about women, Mothers Who Care is a family component, and we're here for the family. You can email us at increasetheharvestinc.org, and someone will reply back to you. It might be me because I'm multitasking, but you're welcome to call in if anyone wants to call in right now and ask Mrs. Galloway some questions at 312-738-1060. And we want to know what it is that you think street justice looks like when we have 30% of unsolved homicides in the Austin area, which is a beautiful community. I mean, we're under-resourced, under everything, but you have some powerful women that have weathered this storm and has stuck in and still is out here and not just advocating for their children, but advocating for all our kids.
Yes.
This is how Zerlina come about, making relationships, building bridges, and building these bonds. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to call in. Once again, 312-738-1060. And this is Miss Sims. Well, I call her Miss Sims because Elijah was her son's name. And when you think of Elijah Sims, think of a 16-year-old who mom transitioned him to Oak Park. He left the Austin community and came back to visit his friends on a nice, what was it, summer night, right?
Yeah, and a Monday night, which was his off day. That was the only reason why he was there. My son worked full-time job at 16 years old.
See?
He was off 2 days a week.
5500 block West Quincy.
5500 block West Quincy. If anyone knows anything, please say something. You can call 312-744-8261. We have Justice for Elijah. Hashtag Justice for Elijah.
And you can turn it over.
And here's the detective's number.
And that number again is?
312-744-8261.
And I hope everyone has gotten that information. So we're just out here. We're not telling people to go out and sell their soul to the police. We're telling people that it might not be your house right now, but just think, what if it is you or one of your loved ones? Because this is an issue that is affecting not just one household. It's affecting the community because it's on the rise and it's extremely high.
It is. And don't ever think that what you may have saw or seen may not be helpful to the police, because we never know what the police have. And I hear a lot of people saying the police are not doing this and the police are not doing that, but it's not just all on the police. We have to help and sometimes give the police some of the tools that they need. That's why I'm sitting here. Which, even though when I do get my tools, I'll still be sitting here, because now I'm that motherly voice for all the people who can't stand up, who can't say anything, or who's afraid to come forward, because right now it's bigger than Elijah. I'm trying to help save Elijah's. We want to stop the ongoing thing.
And what were we just talking about the green room? Because you have to hear this. I mean, the plan is to constantly community.
Yes.
And we all are just individuals who come from all walks of life, who just seem to have met through the streets of the Austin community, which is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
But when you think of plans, Increase the Harvest started in my kitchen. And we were just sitting in a green room.
Trying to think of a plan.
Think of another plan. And what did we come up with sitting in the green room? Who you had a phone call with today?
Oh, okay. Mr. LaShawn Ford.
State Representative LaShawn Ford.
State
And what was it about?
A possible adventure that will also help our community.
So be looking forward to that possible adventure. I honestly thought she would elaborate more, but assuming that she's not comfortable with telling us all the information, we will be updating you on what that will look like. And thank you once again. Thank you, because no one honestly should have to continue to go through what we go through, and it's every day in our community. Yes. And everybody's Elijah, she said. Yeah. And she's advocating for everyone, not just one child. So I'm going to go to the overhead once again. I want you to know about our Mothers Who Care Parent Cafe. This month, which should be very nice, September 19th, 2017, we're going to do a restorative justice training, which is going to be a peace circle. It's going to be done by the CTU Foundation. It will be at 128 Harrison Street, Oak Park, Illinois, 60304, from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Now remember, at the bottom you will see our sponsors and our supporters. You have Democracy for America, you have State Representative Kanye Irving, you have State Representative Lilly, you have Alderwoman of the 37th Ward, Emma Mitt, State Representative LaShawn K. Ford, Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown, and Gone Again Travel. You have Fathers Who Care, which is we're a branch from, Westside Health Authority, and the Good Neighbor Campaign. Now get familiar with these organizations, because these are the organizations that are really trying to help show what grassroots works looks like, and it looks like us. And I want to welcome our next beautiful guest, Miss who? Bertha Purnell. I always call her my Miss B, Miss Brenda. And she say, Sharita, you gonna get my name right? And I'm like, maybe. And I'm tired today, so I actually got it right with her assisting me. So Miss Bertha also has a story of what's been going on in the Austin community. And street justice has a face to it. And it's time that people understand that the faces are not just the victims, it is the family as well. So Miss Bertha, thank you for coming on Mothers Who Care.
Thank you.
And thank you for just being willingly with what has gone on to open your arms for me, my family, and so many other women to be an advocate, because she supports everyone and everything. And her story is just as sad as all the ones that you see in the news or read in the paper. So we put faces to what's going on now in Austin. So can you tell us about what's going on with you and how you got to this point?
Again, my name is Bertha Purnell. On June 24th of this year, my life changed forever, and not for the better. My son Maurice was in for the day from Elgin. Came to my house to help me do some things. An hour after my son left my house, he was gunned down on Division and Laramie in front of a barbershop. And to this day, no one has come forward about my son's murder. I don't want to tell anybody that my son was an angel because he had a past. But 2 years ago, my son changed his life when he moved to Elgin. He had 4 children that are left without a father. His daughter will be a year old next month. She will never know who her dad was. He might not have, to the person that killed my son, he might not have meant anything. But to his family, he meant the world. My son, just like so many others here in Chicago, their voice was silent. But myself, Sharita, and other mothers, we are here to speak for those who are gone and prevent others from leaving. This is a battle that we're here to fight. And with you all, we're going to win.
That's right. Now, look, Miss Bertha is a powerful woman. Google her and listen to some of her speeches. She wooed me with the passion of having the loss and not speaking through the pain. Ms. Bertha, tell us about Moms on a Mission.
Moms on a Mission is an organization we started after Maurice was killed. And our mission is to get justice. I have gone to several aldermen's offices. I have contacted several state officials. We need cameras because, as Sharita was saying, a lot of people don't come forward, for be it fear or whatever. If we had working cameras on these businesses, some of these murders will be caught and hopefully prevented. We need to stand together. We need some justice done for our children. Okay, people might say your child is gone, but we need to prevent the next one from being killed. And if people felt that they might be caught, they might think twice before they commit these murders.
That's right. So going back to when you talk about our elected officials, because I always say I hold everybody accountable when it comes to what's going on. I hold myself accountable. I hold my neighbors accountable. I hold everyone accountable. We know, because we live in these communities. Most of our elected officials, we know, don't live in our communities. They get elected by the people who listen to someone else, and we hope that they will do their job and do what they have to do for the time that they're in there. Miss Bertha, we've been having conversations in regards to her struggles as to even getting clear answers around her son's death certificate.
Right. My son's death certificate I finally have. My son was killed June 24th, and to this day, his autopsy report is not available. And I was told by the ME's office that they were so backed up. We need to realize this thing is an epidemic that needs to stop. It's a hurricane almost. It has the killings in this area is like a hurricane. There are so many murders you can't even get an autopsy report. That's ridiculous. Almost 3 months later. My son's autopsy report is not back. And people might say, why do I want it? Because there were so many unanswered questions as to how my son died. I need to know. I need to know concretely what happened to my son. How many times was he shot? Where was he shot? As his mother, I need to know. I'm a nurse. My kid needed me and I couldn't save him. By the time I got to where my son had been shot, he was already gone. I need those answers in order for me to keep going on so I can answer to his children, because they're going to want to know what happened to their dad. I need to be able to tell them concretely what happened. And some people might think that's morbid. I don't. I want to be forthcoming with my grandchildren. He has 2 brothers and a sister left. Maurice was the 3rd one of a triplet. The middle child was lost at 7 weeks. Maurice was my baby in more ways than one. I loved my son. People need to know my family has been up in an uproar. But not only my family. Whoever pulled that trigger, their family is going to be up in an uproar as well, because I want justice. Nothing but will do for me. Justice is what I want. And I want swift justice. It needs to come.
So clear vision. What does your true vision of what justice looks like? Now, remind you, this is a personal issue. And mothers and families have been truly affected by this. So we're not judging anyone for what they say and how they see it today, because this is a family component. And we want to make sure that we learn to have these relationships that are so badly needed in our community amongst our neighbors, our friends, and our family, so this purge can continue to stop. So what does justice look like for you?
Justice for me is to be able to look at that coward or cowards that killed my son. In a court of law, I want them to go to jail. When they see their family, I don't want them dead. I don't think the electric chair is good for them. I don't think a death sentence is good for them. I want them to suffer behind bars. You need to know that you took a human being's life. He was somebody to us. And not just my family, people who knew him. He had true friends. And he definitely had a family. They need to know you took something very precious to somebody with all these killings. That person being killed meant something to somebody. Might not have meant anything to the person that pulled the trigger, but they meant something to somebody. And I would just like to say, Zerlina, I want to thank State Rep Ford, because when he heard my story, he gave me a platform. When he organized that march, he invited us mothers, and there was a father there, to tell our story. And I thank God for him for that, because I did go to other elected officials who closed the door in my face. When I got ready to do the rally for my son, I thank God for Emma Mitz, because she took me in and she helped me organize that rally. But there are so many elected officials out there that you can go to. Some have been telling me, call me. I have not got a response call back. But I'm not going to stop calling. And when it comes election time, I'm going to tell my story. Because all of you people who turn your back on us, we have put them in office.
That's right.
So they need to realize we're not going away. We're not going away. I'm here to stay. 57, I'm staying.
Amen. Okay, well, we want to thank our beautiful mothers. Moms on a Mission is actually a new entity to increase the harvest. We're looking for not just mothers, we're looking for the whole family if they've lost their children to any violence. So at this particular point, the Nonviolence Institute of Chicago is working with Heartland. Heartland has a program. I'm trying to zoom in so you guys can see it, but it doesn't look like it's coming up good enough for you to see. I'm going to hope you can see it that way. If you have people that have been affected by any of these things, they're eligible for this Ready Chicago program, and you can reach out. Just reach out. They have job placement skills, all these phenomenal things that people don't know about. So once again, I'm Zerlina Smith, and we just want to let you know about our events coming up. The Service Culinary Day. We like, for anybody who want to see, go to our Facebook page. We have our pop-up weekly block events. The next one is September 13th on the corner of Laramie and Gladys, where a young man was shot. We're going to go out there and pass out resources. Save the date for the Fathers Who Care 15-year celebration. I'm clicking through it because it's time for us to get out of here. And once again, we want to thank all the sponsors for the March for Peace and all the mothers who got involved with that. And if you want any information or want to join us, please just go to resources at increasetheharvest.org. And once again, the Peace Cafe, the Mother's Cafe, the Parents Cafe, the Community Cafe is going to be phenomenal this month. So come out here and join us and just be a part of what we've been doing. And once again, I'm your host, Zerlina Smith, and Miss Bertha and Miss Galloway. It's all about you. Good night.
Thank you.
Yes.